Hi, and welcome to the Belly to Belly podcast. My name is Bill Kenney, and today we're here to talk about the 5 rules of U.S. trade show follow-up. This is where a lot of people fail to realize the full value of trade show participation. They essentially leave money on the table because they're not following up well. So let's get into the 5 rules. Number 1 is your follow-up needs to be immediate. Think of the potential energy that you create from making contacts at a trade show as just like fruit at the market, where if you don't consume it quickly or within a reasonable amount of time, that will perish. It's the same thing with opportunities that you create at trade shows. You need to follow up. We usually say within 24 hours of meeting someone, they should have your first contact. The second is that your follow-up needs to be personal. There needs to be some connection between your communication and the conversation that you had when you met the person, so that you're showing empathy, you're showing that you listen, and there's really that connection that's created, and actually a reason to continue the conversation is expressed in that follow-up. So you need to make sure that you personalize your communication so that you're connecting directly with the interests of the individual you're communicating with. The third rule of follow-up is that there needs to be an ask. You need to have some purpose or action that the individual you're communicating with needs to take. Either that's setting up a time to meet, or it may be that they've committed to you to get some piece of information that will allow you to take a next action, like create a proposal or whatever. And so that ask needs to be whatever assignment they have, that needs to be communicated and clear. And again, if you're looking to set an appointment, let's give them some options. Let's really narrow it down quickly so you can efficiently get to a place where you're having great dialogue and interacting so that you can successfully solve the problem or address the issue that they're looking to address. The fourth element here of trade show follow-up is about having a give. In other words, something that you offer in the communication that gives them more depth of understanding of what you do or what you can do potentially for them. So that might be a recent article that you've written. It might be a blog or a vlog or anything that relates to their interests that, again, substantiates your credibility to help them. And the fifth element of trade show follow-up, and certainly one of the top ones, would be to be persistent. In the US, people don't always respond to your first communication or even your second, third, or fourth. And so being persistent gets you in front of them, and ultimately you're not giving the same communication, but you're building a series of communications that give a valid business reason for the individual to respond. And so in the end, in order to get action or to get a meeting or to get next steps with individuals, there needs to be a valid business reason from their point of view. So what's in it for them? This should all be very clear in your communication, and ultimately communication needs to be concise. So your 5 are: number 1 is you need to be immediate. Number 2, personal. You need to have an ask. You need to give them something that builds your credibility. And then number 5, you need to be persistent. So keep those in mind as you're committing to trade shows. Think about what you're going to do, the day within 24 hours of meeting somebody. What are those actions and activities? And then have a system to be able to remind yourself to be persistent and what you need to do in terms of ultimately converting that interest into a meaningful relationship. So please holler with any questions. We're glad to help in any way. Thanks so much again. This is a Belly to Belly podcast. Bill Kenney signing off. Talk to y'all soon. Bye now.